It all began after Shadur Sanders' now infamous silent interview, a stunt that saw him mime answers to reporters after being criticized by analysts like Rex Ryan. Shedur's quiet defiance went viral, dividing fans and frustrating league officials. But while the NFL world was still buzzing over that bold moment, Dillon Gabriel decided to step into the spotlight. On social media, Gabriel threw the first punch, claiming he doesn't care what people say about him and that he's more of a team-oriented player. On the surface, it sounded harmless, typical sports talk. But anyone paying attention could see it for what it was, a not-so-subtle jab at Shadur. The message was clear. Gabriel was drawing a line between himself, the team guy, and Sanders, whom he painted as a self-focused entertainer. The timing made it obvious. His words came right after Shadur's protest had dominated headlines. And whether Gabriel meant to or not, he reignited a narrative that the media loves to feed: the humble worker versus the flashy star. In his follow-up interviews, Gabriel doubled down. He talked about focus, process, and unity. "We just have to come together and create momentum for each other," he said, repeating the kind of locker room cliches fans have heard for decades. But beneath the surface, the tone was pointed. When he emphasized there's no need for entertainers, it didn't sound like an innocent comment. It sounded like a warning shot aimed straight at Sanders. The irony? If Shadur had made those same comments, the reaction would have been completely different. The media would have crucified him, labeling him cocky and divisive. But Gabriel? He gets called mature, measured, and focused. It's a double standard that's impossible to ignore. Gabriel's criticisms barely make a ripple, while Shadur can't breathe without setting off a social media firestorm. It's the same pattern that's followed Shadur since the moment he entered the league, where his confidence is treated as arrogance, and his authenticity is treated as rebellion. This isn't the first time Gabriel's taken aim at Sanders. Earlier in the preseason, he dismissed Shadur as more of an entertainer than a competitor. The comment slipped by with little backlash. Analysts didn't rage about it. Social media didn't explode. But if the roles were reversed, the fallout would have been instant. Shadur would have been dragged through talk shows, accused of disrespecting the game. It's a perfect snapshot of how narratives are shaped, not by what's said, but by who says it. When the clip of Gabriel's entertainers versus competitors remark resurfaced, media figures scrambled to protect him. Colin Cowherd went on air insisting Gabriel wasn't attacking Shadur, but taking a shot at the media. He accused fans of creating drama where there was none. But for those watching closely, the intent was crystal clear. Gabriel had chosen his words carefully, just sharp enough to sting, yet vague enough to deny. And with Cowherd and others rushing to his defense, the message was reinforced. Gabriel could do no wrong, while Shadur would always be the problem. Meanwhile, Shadur was still reeling from criticism by Rex Ryan, who accused him of not putting in the work and not deserving a starting spot. The tone of Ryan's attack wasn't analytical, it was personal. He called Sanders entitled, lazy, and distracted. No mention of his stats, his progress, or the chaos within the Browns organization. Just character attacks packaged as analysis. And when Shadur responded, through silence, through symbolism, he was painted as immature. That's the trap. When he speaks, he's arrogant. When he stays silent, he's disrespectful. Gabriel's latest comments came right after that storm. "There's entertainers and there's competitors," he said again. "My job is to compete." To the untrained ear, that sounds like focus. But in the context of everything happening, it was a dagger wrapped in politeness. He didn't have to name names. Everyone already knew who he was talking about. And when the press asked him to clarify, he sidestepped neatly. "We can only control what we can control," he said, smiling through the tension. "I don't want to speak for anyone in particular." That line, deliberately vague, only made the feud hotter. The contrast between their treatment couldn't be starker. Gabriel's passive-aggressive digs get labeled as leadership, while Shadur's confidence is framed as ego. Every time Shadur expresses belief in his abilities, critics swarm to call him delusional. When he recently said he believes he's better than some current NFL quarterbacks, it sent the media into a frenzy. Yet the same kind of bravado is celebrated when it comes from others, especially those without his last name. And that's what this is really about, the Sanders name. Being Dion's son comes with fame, pressure, and an impossible standard. For Shadur, every move is compared to his father's legacy. Every quote becomes a headline. Every gesture becomes a symbol. He's not just a quarterback, he's a lightning rod. And while some see that as privilege, others see it as a target. The media and rival players treat him differently because of it. When Rex Ryan blasted him, Shadur didn't lash out. He didn't rant or post long defenses. Instead, he chose to make a point in his own way, with that wordless, unforgettable mime interview. It was clever, symbolic, and controlled, but to people like Gabriel, it looked like a performance. He called it entertainment. What Gabriel missed was that it wasn't about showmanship, it was about survival. For Shadur, silence was armor. Now, this tension has spilled far beyond social media. Inside the Browns' locker room, whispers of division are growing louder. Players are choosing sides, some aligning with Gabriel's team-first persona, others admiring Shedur's authenticity. Coaches, caught in the middle, are trying to downplay the drama, insisting everyone's focused on football. But anyone watching can see it. The body language in practice, the tone in interviews, the awkward silence in pressers. This isn't just competition. It's personal. And while Gabriel plays the role of calm professional, there's a streak of insecurity in his comments. His constant need to emphasize being about the team feels like someone trying to convince himself as much as everyone else. For Shadur, on the other hand, confidence isn't something he needs to announce. It's something he radiates. That's what truly separates them. As both quarterbacks prepare for the upcoming season, the stakes couldn't be higher. Their rivalry has gone from quiet tension to open warfare. Gabriel wants to prove he's the disciplined one, the steady hand the Browns can trust. Shadur wants to prove he belongs, not just in the league, but among its best. Their eventual head-to-head matchup isn't just about stats or scores anymore. It's about pride, legacy, and redemption. When they finally share the same field, it won't just be a game, it'll be a statement. Every throw, every touchdown, every mistake will carry the weight of everything that's been said. And whether you see Gabriel as the humble underdog or Shadur as the misunderstood rebel, one thing's for sure. Both are playing for more than just a win. They're playing for validation. So what do you think? Is Dillon Gabriel justified in calling out Shedeur Sanders, or is he trying to steal the spotlight from a player who's already under the microscope? Do you believe the media treats Shadur unfairly, or is he simply reaping what comes with fame and attitude? When the two finally face off, who walks away with the upper hand, the competitor or the entertainer? Drop your thoughts below and let us know where you stand in this heated rivalry.